Hello, everyone. Welcome to the July edition of All the Things with Julie Miller Davis. So excited to have you here today. As many of you know, All the Things is about productivity, efficiency, and the reason we named it what we named it is because so many people out there are so busy doing all the things that they're not always focused on the things that matter. So I'm bringing people in to talk to you and to interview who can help you with some of those things that you're doing that you maybe don't have to be the one doing them. And also to talk about productivity and give you tips and tricks and things to help you do your business better and build it faster. Today, I'm so excited that we have Lisa Raebel of Rebel Girl Marketing with us, and very excited to have her. She is an author, speaker, podcaster, and chief storyteller of Rebel Girl Marketing, where she has developed her proprietary Rebel mindset approach to help businesses stay in business by utilizing focused, uncompromising marketing strategies. With over 30 years of experience as a successful marketing executive and leading sales professional, Lisa cuts through the noise and breaks down marketing to what makes sense to her clients, creating strategies that are simple, relatable to their target audiences, and result in double-digit sales growth year after year. Lisa is an accomplished speaker and book author, sharing her expertise and insights with audiences around the world. Her approach emphasizes the importance of creating a positive first impression through attention-getting power pitches, and she believes that everything is marketing, from how you answer your phone to your final conversation with a customer. We're going to welcome Lisa into the studio today.
Hello. Good morning.
Hello, welcome to All the Things.
Thanks. I'm excited to be here.
So happy to have you. So I said a lot in your bio, but I'm wondering what else you can tell us about you and your business.
So, Rebel Girl Marketing was born out of the fact that a lot of small business owners that I talked to said, if I could just have you for a short period of time, I would understand marketing better and I could do a better job at my marketing, because a lot of small businesses don't need a full-time marketing person. They just need somebody on the sidelines cheering them on and giving them advice and coaching them through situations. So that's what Rebel Girl Marketing was really built to be, was to help small businesses stay in business by just helping them understand what marketing is and what it can do for their business. So yeah. And I'm a little bit different because I spent 12 years in corporate sales as well. So I see both sides of that business development coin, that whole like marketing is one thing and sales is another. But if they don't work together, your business development's not going to take you where you want it to go.
Yeah. Awesome. I love that when people who have started their businesses, wherever they came from, have really and truly heard what people are asking them, and that's how their business is born. Because I think sometimes people are creating this business that they think is a good idea or they think people want, but they don't really have proof where people have asked them questions and where they really saw a need. It's just something they thought it was a need. And I think that's when a lot of people struggle. Because then you don't have, if people aren't asking you for what you are offering, or they aren't asking you questions, you don't, also, as far as marketing goes, you don't have the language, you don't have their language. You got to speak their language, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that is so true, because people, they want to sound smart, right? Like, I want to prove to you that I know exactly what I'm talking about. So they don't speak it in a common phrase that the person sitting across from them is going to understand. I can give you acronyms for marketing, till tomorrow, but it's like, and if you don't understand what I'm talking about, then they're just like, people just smiling at you, and you're going to get nowhere.
Yeah. You're not getting anywhere, not speaking their language at all. So, as you know, we are all at JMD Productivity about habits, about productivity, about proactivity, about time. So talk to us a little bit about your personal habits around time.
Oh, great question. Especially coming off of almost like 6 weeks of doing like hardly any business at all, with moving and all kinds of stuff that I've been doing. What I realized though during that time is, one thing that is the best thing for me is this little sucker right here.
Timer. Yeah.
I put it, yeah, I have a timer, and it has the ticky, ticky, ticky. So it's not an annoying thing, but it like just reminds me that I'm supposed to be focusing on one thing. And so, because it's so easy, like all of a sudden you get the ding, right? Like, oh, I got a new email, or oh, like a text came in, or whatever. Like, there's so many distractions that it's like this helps me focus on the one thing, especially being a creative. It's
Yeah.
you get zoned in. And so the ending timer is really nice, because sometimes I have literally lost track of time because I'm in a zone of creativity. I'm doing a PowerPoint, or I'm creating content for a client, or doing like case studies, whatever the case might be. And all of a sudden, like, I've missed phone calls and meetings, or I'm at least late for them. I don't really miss them, but it's like, it helps me focus and keep that on there. So the tickety tickety of the timer is really good.
Really good for you. Awesome. Awesome. Talk to me about a problem or a roadblock that you've had in your business and how you like solved it, how you got through it and solved it.
So, writing, so it was kind of funny. I never set out to write a book. It wasn't like, I'm going to start a business and write a book. I mean, that was never even like close. I never wanted to start my own business. That actually happened kind of accidentally. And so the book kind of happened that way too, because people kept saying, well, when's the book coming out? And I kept saying, what book? Like, what book are you talking about? Like, there's no book, right? And so what happened was it helped me. The roadblock was thinking I'm not an author, and talking to authors and reading books about being an author and doing all the things that helped me understand what it really took to become an author. And that it's not this big, huge thing. And so it's really nice to be able to say that I authored a book and it's published and everything, but the roadblock was right here.
Right in your head.
And I pulled on resources that I knew would help me first, kick my tail and make me stop thinking the way I was thinking, and like really help me move that mission forward.
I love that. And you have a really strong network of people too that you could draw from and talk to about even their experiences in books, or who do they connect you with to help you with this whole concept of a book, which has been something that people have asked me too, Lisa. And I'm like, what book? I have no desire to write a book. None.
I had no desire. None. Yeah. Mm-mm.
So good for you. Good for
Thanks.
you for tapping into that and figuring that out and listening to what people were asking, and telling you that they would really like to see a book, or where's your book? Where's the book? And I think too, as we're talking about your business and where it was born out of, that book gives people tips and tools and strategies that they can implement and change things, like actually do some marketing instead of hoping and praying or throwing spaghetti at the wall and seeing what sticks or whatever. Right.
Yeah. I think that's one thing that's missing and when I read Atomic Habits, and James Clear had all those worksheets you could go onto this website and download, I was like, that's brilliant. So what I did is I just incorporated those worksheet kind of concepts in the book, in the back of the book, at the end of every chapter, instead of having to go and download something. Because I don't know about you, but every time I read a business book, I dog air and I highlight and do all those things, but then it goes back on the shelf, and then it's kind of like, where did I read that? And I really didn't implement it. And I think if I wrote it down, there's so many studies out there that say that if you write something down, physically write it down, you're 70% more likely to accomplish whatever that is.
Definitely.
Instead of just like thinking about it and then it's gone. I'm not sure about you, but like I think about something and it's like gone. If I don't write it down, it's just
Well, and I really like that having those worksheets in the book also, because a lot of us, when we read business books or self-help books or whatever, you get ideas. You're like, oh, I could do this, or I could do that. I could do this. I could do that. And we're in reading mode. We're not really always, but we are highlighting and stuff and maybe taking some notes in the margins, but we're not really processing it all the way through. Like you're saying, there's no implementation. There's just ideas. Right. So, I really appreciate that you did that. And the one thing, he does do a great job of all those downloads, but if you're not on a clickable place, like you have to go type it in, right? So it's not like I can take my book and click on it unless I'm on my Kindle. So
not working. It's not working.
It's not working. I do it all the time when I'm reading, because I read on my Kindle a lot, and I'm a word nerd, so I like to know words that I don't know. So I push in my Kindle and I do the dictionary all the time.
Yeah.
So then I'll be reading a hardback, and I'm like, crap, I can't, like, I have to go actually look something up. I can't push on the word, have it pop up for me. Spoiled.
That's really funny. And just picture you like,
I know. I start to go. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm not on my Kindle. I can't do that.
I'm just glad I'm not the only person who does silly things like that.
Habits, right? That's all habit, right? So at JMD Productivity, you know that part of my marketing is all about taking time for yourself, doing things that fill up your soul outside of your business. A lot of people love their businesses, as I hope that many of you, most of you, all of you do. But your business will burn you out if you don't take time away from the business. And so I play a lot of golf. I play a lot of tennis. I hike, ski, spend a lot of time outdoors is really my recharge. And then every now and then I'll have a binging on Netflix day because I just need a cocoon in and not be outside. So those are the things that I do to recharge my battery and to recreate. The big thing for me is getting outside. So for you, I know that I didn't read part of Lisa's bio because she talks about it in her bio, but I wanted her to tell you what she does to recharge and to really fill up her cup.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm like you. I need to get outside. I need to like be outside. I need fresh air. And it was so funny. I was joking around the other day. I said, I think I'm a daughter of Poseidon, because literally you get me in water. I am like, that is like, it is like definitely my recharging. So at the place we moved to, we have a pool here. And I'm telling you, just even like 20 minutes of just, slow laps back and forth are just like re-energize me. So paddleboarding is my passion.
Oh,
well, I have a blow up paddleboard, and I live in Lake Country here in Wisconsin, and we've got lakes everywhere. Like just within 5 minutes, I probably have 5 or 6 lakes. And so getting on my paddleboard and just being by myself and just like cruising and listening and just listening to myself and listening to the things that I need to hear from other, from God or whoever wants to talk to me. Just, it's one of those things where I just need to like reset and
lets you really be quiet and still.
Yeah. And you literally can't do anything, because it's like, it's not like you can bring your laptop on your paddleboard. Right. Probably not the best idea.
Exactly. So
you are literally forced to just be with yourself. And I love it. I absolutely positively love it.
That's awesome. Yeah. Yeah. And for, we don't have a lot of water in Colorado. And so for me, the woods is the big place for that, because, and I don't hike with my phone on. I take it for photos, and that's it. Cause I love to take pictures out in the wilderness, but, yeah, it's, I love that you go out there, and I love that you said on the paddleboard, you can't take your laptop. You can't, you're not going to have anything out there. It's you and the water. So very awesome.
Even during the whole moving process, we had opportunities to do like fun stuff. Like we went up, my husband went in golf outing up in Kohler, which is here in Wisconsin, which is beautiful. So I took a day and I went to the spa up there, and I just, and I did that stuff in between, because if all you do every day is the same thing, I don't care if it's your job, if like you don't ever take a break from your job, or don't take a break from your family, or don't take a break from, for me, the whole moving and downsizing, that's really where, if you don't take a break, you're not going to do a good job, because you're going to burn out. I have burned the candle on both ends, and the recovery is long, and I'm never going to do that again.
Yeah. It's really difficult. And you have to shut down for so long when you're burned out like that it's really hard then to re-enter also. And, cause it's not just a refresh, right? It's a total reboot, and it takes a long time. Like you're saying, it's hard. It is hard. So take those breaks and fill up your cup. Like, what do you need to do? And if you haven't read my recent blog, it is all about incorporating fun into your life. So taking breaks and what you can do on those breaks. So take a look at that, because that's what it's all, that really does boost your productivity and boost your ability to stay present.
Yeah,
And stay present with your family, and stay present in your business, and stay present all the other places if you're taking that time. So important.
absolutely.
So I'm curious if there is, besides the timer, if there's one like productivity, or one tip or thing that you've learned from JMD productivity training that has helped you.
Well, so where you and I really connected on this is the fact that like I color coordinate all my stuff. Like what is green is my money. Like that's where I'm making the money, right? And then the yellow is all my networking and everything, because that's where it's like, you know, do I, am I taking too much time networking and not enough time like trying to build the business, like, doing the social stuff.
Yes.
So for me, it's that like taking a look at the week as a whole and even the month as a whole, sometimes to just kind of go, okay, am I doing the one thing, the 1% that I need to do to move my business forward, and being very mindful of that. And I think that's where you and I connect the best, is that you and I have the same thought on mindfulness and the same thought on like being aware of it, and then being aware of it if there's not enough white space. And so what I've really learned from you is to be cognizant of my calendar, is like not just like put stuff on there, but like look at it as a whole, go, okay, where am I going to find that time for fun? Where am I going to time that time to reset and to reboot and to get out there and make sure that my energy is where it needs to be for both myself and my clients and my family. Yeah.
I love that, because being mindful about your time, so many people are at the end of the day or the end of the week wondering where their time went. And the truth is there's more than enough time in a day. There is. If you're actually making a plan and being disciplined in the time that you have, and working when you're working. And like Lisa was saying earlier, not giving in to all the distractions that come your way while you're working on something, and not getting so lost in working on something that you run overtime. There's enough time. You guys think about if something breaks in your house, or if your car breaks down, or if something goes wrong with or your pet needs to go to the vet or whatever. We make time, and all the stuff still gets done.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's time. We just have to be a lot more cognizant about it, and a lot more strategic and intentional about it. So thanks for that, Lisa.
Yeah, absolutely. People see the elephant, right? I gotta conquer this elephant. They don't see like the bites you have to take to get there. And I'm very good at like taking chunks, like saying, okay, this is what I need to accomplish, but first I need to like put it in a sequence. Once I'm done with this, then I can think about this. Because if I think about like step 4 and 5 before I even accomplish step 1 and 2, I get distracted and I don't want to do anything, right? You freeze, right? It's what are the 3? It's you freeze, you flight, fright, flight, fight, flight, or freeze. I freeze, and I just don't do anything. And so that's why having the smaller bites is so important. Yeah,
so important. Yes. So what are you reading or listening to right now? Some people are readers, some are podcasts, some are a little bit of both, or some are audible. So what are you digging into these days, just that our audience should know about?
So I have a podcast, but I like to listen to podcasts because that's something I can do while I'm walking or hiking or just driving. And it's kind of like that too, okay, maybe not driving is the best idea, but I do listen to that there. And if anybody knows me, I'm a Simon Sinek fanatic. And so I love his podcast, which is A Bit of Optimism, because he takes people that are famous and not famous and takes their stories and turns them into like, this was really hard and really bad, but this is what came out of it, which is really positive of it. And so I think that we all go through that season in life where things happen, right? And it's bad, or it's negative, and you don't have the energy. I don't know how I'm going to get through it. It could be an illness, it could be financial, it could be relational. It doesn't matter what it is. Life isn't just going to be all like sunshine and roses, right? So you have to like find what is the lesson. And when you're in the middle of it, it's really hard sometimes to understand that. But what I like about this podcast is that you take situations, and sometimes you've heard of these situations. They're like, national, international news people, and they take them like, well, what did you learn? What came out of this? How did you help people in the end? And find that bit of optimism in even the worst situations.
I love it. Can you say the name again one more time for our viewers?
A Bit of Optimism by Simon Sinek. It's a podcast.
Bit of Optimism. And I love Simon Sinek. Just love him. Just love him. He's awesome. He's awesome.
Yeah.
A Bit of Optimism. So I'm reading right now, it's called The Right Call. And it's by Sally Jenkins. If you play sports, if you like sports, athletics, it's amazing. Sally Jenkins is a sports writer. And this is all about what sports teach us about work and life is what the subtitle is. And I'm listening to it in my car. I took a trip this week with my mom, and not with I met my mom somewhere. So I had to drive about 4 hours to meet her. And so I'm listening to it, and it's just it's so good. It's so good. Because it's all about having a plan and discipline and communication and all of that stuff. And it's just it's a fabulous read. And so you can listen to it on Audible. She narrates it, and reads it, or grab the book. And I'll listen to a lot of my books on Audible as far as business books, but then I buy it also. And then any notes that I highlighted in Audible, I then go through and highlight. I reread the things that I highlighted in the car or wherever. So
I love Audible.
Yeah,
I do.
Too. And you can, you can speed it up. I can't speed it up too much, but it's at least 0.7 faster than it was. Oh my goodness. So Lisa, can you lead us to your podcast, to your website, to your book, so that we know where to find you and connect with you further?
Well, the book and the podcast are both called The Rebel Girl's Guide to Marketing. And so that's it behind me. And then the podcast can be found on Spotify, Google Play, Apple Podcast, anywhere really. And it's literally just little bites and chunks. So I do interviews with some people, but I also, so it's like 15, 20 minutes, like 20 minutes is the max, because nobody needs to hear me talking for more than 20 minutes, especially with our attention spans these days. But it's all about marketing. It's about like, what are you not thinking about? Like, what do you need to think about that you maybe didn't consider that is marketing? So I love doing podcasts. I haven't done one in a month because of the
move. Yeah.
The move. Oh my gosh. The downsizing, I think, is worse than the move. But and so I love the podcast, though. It's a great medium, especially for introverted people like me, or I guess I'm an extroverted introvert, but I love it because I can just like pontificate, and then luckily my editor just edits out all my stuff. But no, it's really fun. And then the book can be found on Amazon and Barnes and Noble. And the website is rebelgirlmarketing.com. Very easy. And you can find out my services. The book, the podcast links are in there. Everything's on the website. So
Fantastic. Well, Lisa, thank you so much for joining me today. I've been looking forward to this for quite a while. So
yeah, me too.
Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll talk soon.
Okay. Bye.
That was Lisa Raebel of Rebel Girl Marketing. So happy to have her today. Please check out her website, her podcast, Rebel Girl's Guide to Marketing, and her book. And you can find that also on Amazon, her book. So go for it and take a look at that stuff. We have some things coming up at JMD Productivity Training. First of all, I will be on stage at the pre-conference day at the Icon Conference for eWomen Network on a panel. So excited to have about 8 minutes in front of the room there, and along with a lot of other people who are going to talk about business systems and productivity. So if you're coming to Icon Conference, please come see us, answer questions. Our next All the Things with Julie Miller Davis is on Monday, August 14th at 10:30 Mountain Time, featuring Miss Trisha Turpinoff with Turpinoff Photography. And my Unstuck event, please don't forget that. Mark your calendars right now, October 25, 26, 27. And we've added a pre-conference online only day, October 24th, where we will be hearing from some amazing speakers about visibility, marketing, and your voice and messaging. Okay. So that is October 25, 26, 27 with the pre-con on 24th. Please go to unstuckevent.com to find out more information and take advantage of early bird tickets. Please do it. Don't wait. Don't wait till it's too late. And then we've got a webinar coming up in August. There's 3 days to choose from, so I'm not going to give you a date and time. You have 3 dates to choose from. It's called The Myth of Time Management. It is myth. And find out why if you come to my webinar. And that one is free with a VIP upgrade. Thanks everyone for listening. We'll see you next month.